Thanks for joining me today. We're here with Patrik Frisk. Patrik, we don't have a lot of time, so I just want to get right into it. You've been in Under Armour for about 3 years now, first as president and chief operating officer, and then on January 1st of this year, you became CEO. Right after that, toward the end of January or early February, COVID-19 happened in China and then spread rapidly around the world. So I wanted to explore two ideas with you. First is, what about Under Armour? What at Under Armour has changed as a result of the pandemic? And then maybe more importantly, what about Under Armour has not changed?
Hi, Ty. It's great to see you again. Thanks for having me on. Two things you said. First thing is, what has changed at Under Armour? I think what has changed is the incredible movement towards digital that has been accelerated, and it's been absolutely phenomenal to see our teams fundamentally accelerate a program that we already had planned to do and had started 18 months ago and had planned to finish 12 months from now, and actually completed in less than 2 months. As soon as the pandemic hit, we really geared up to, of course, do more commerce online, but also to digitize all of our samples so that we could actually do a digital sell-in for next year, which is incredibly critical to us. So that was incredible. And then, of course, like everybody else, the ability to meet, greet, and do the business online has been phenomenal to see. The second thing that the team did and that was really amazing was really the give back aspects of the Under Armour team, which resonates so well with our values of fighting on together. We actually turned our entire innovation factory in Baltimore, the Lighthouse, into a manufacturing plant. Our innovation teams created an innovative way to create a mask through an origami solution. And we have since manufactured about 5 million masks, and we're working with about 40 different medical institutions around the Baltimore, Washington, D.C. area to help supply not just masks, but also gowns. And just my experience with seeing the team do that was amazing. That's what's changed, I would say, the activity, the digitization. And what hasn't changed is who we are. We're the human performance company, who we're for, the focused performer, and where we've decided to compete as a company, which is in athletic performance.
Yeah, and when you say compete in athletic performance, you've really selected a group that you call focused performers, as I understand it. So more serious athletes. Is that true?
Yeah, we really think through this with the lens of when the athlete is in that active use occasion, and for that active use occasion, that competitive mindset of a focused performer is really who we're targeting. And that is not a gender thing or a race thing or a regional thing. We've done a tremendous amount of consumer insights work around the world. We've talked to somewhere between 40 and 50,000 people at this stage over the past 3 years to really understand that mindset. And that actually has been directive for us in terms of sticking to our guns and really making sure that we're competing inside of athletic performance truly. And that's really helped the organization galvanize and align behind the focused performer mindset, and has helped us as an organization for sure.
Yeah. And now for the audience at Collision, folks who might not be as familiar with the athletic apparel space, that's really kind of a contrarian view in the space to concentrate on more serious athletes. Like these days, the chatter in the category is all about athleisure. And it sounds like you've taken kind of a contrarian view on that. Is that right?
Yeah, and that's very true. And it's very true because of the immense amount of the insights work that we've done. We have focused on athletic performance. We believe that's where we originated. That's where we are going to continue to compete. And to ensure that we weren't just calling that out based on our own insights, so to speak, we wanted to make sure we were getting to become a more consumer-centric company. And as a consequence, we did all of the research to validate whether or not we should be so very focused on the space and on this consumer. And everything that we've seen so far really points us in the direction that we're doing the right thing. And also now that we've started to activate against this with our new brand platform that we actually came out with early in the year, The Only Way is Through. And actually, as I talked about before, when we went into this COVID-19 epidemic situation, the teams quickly rejigged that into a manifesto of Through This Together. That has really helped us resonate with this consumer, and we see tremendous progress on all of our brand metrics as well.
Right. I want to share with the audience a little background on you, because you use the words like performance and crushing goals and things like that. I just want to point out to the audience that these are not just words you say. This is a philosophy that you actually live. I heard the other day that you actually did a full Murph workout over the Memorial Day weekend. Is that true?
Well, yeah, actually the whole family did it. It's this year, unfortunately, I got a bit of a shoulder injury, so I had to cheat a little bit. I actually did double pull-ups, inverted versus the normal pull-ups, because I can't pull from overhead. But we did it, and we do it here. It's something my son and I started doing. It's a great, workout to honor a fallen soldier called Murph, and it's a well-known activity in the CrossFit world. I don't know how widely known.
No, that's right. For the audience, the Murph is a favorite workout routine of a Navy lieutenant named Michael Murphy. He was a Navy SEAL who sadly died in action in Afghanistan, but was posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor. And thousands of people around the world do the Murph to honor America's fallen. And just in case there are any focused performers in the audience who actually want to take a crack at it, could you break it down for us? Tell us exactly what the Murph involves.
Absolutely. It starts with a 1 mile run, then 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, and 300 air squats, and then a nice finisher with another mile run. And if you really want to do it the right way, you've got to wear a 20-pound vest while doing it as well. So it's a great workout.
Yeah, I'll be trying that. Pretty much never, I would say. But if I did try it, what's the time to beat? What's your best time?
My best time personally is 45 minutes. My son's is 37 minutes. And 37 minutes is that's pretty incredible.
That's impressive. Yeah, that's impressive. Okay, so you've mentioned technology a few times so far, and Collision is a conference that's really dedicated to technology. I'd love to hear how you and Under Armour think about technology as it relates to the future of athletic performance.
Well, we like to think about what we now today talk about is really the human performance system. Well, one of the things that we have found as we've done all this research is the fact that the focused performer, every focused performer more or less has their own human performance system. And we'd like to think through the lens of train, compete, and recover in terms of how a focused performer kind of goes through their cycle. And for us, it is truly trying to understand all of the various moments of the focused performer and how we can make sure that we can engage with the focused performer through that cycle at various times, whether they're working out, whether they're eating, sleeping, or just simply hanging out. Connecting the dots is a good way to think about it. Connecting the dots for the focused performer inside of their world to try to make sure that we do everything we can to make them better. And of course, with Under Armour, we have the opportunity to do this through our shirts and shoes business, but we also have physical stores, we have online, and we also have our apps where we're able to give an extra dimension, if you like, to how we can help out to make the focused performer better. So what we're working on more holistically is really truly what we call the human performance system. And inside of that, you do need a lot of technology to make it work to connect the dots.
Yeah, fascinating. So let me, if I follow that logic, It's possible that you might get into categories outside of shirts and shoes in the future. Certainly, focused performers need all kinds of things beyond shirts and shoes.
Absolutely. I think, our mission as a company is Under Armour makes you better. And I think that gives us an opportunity to think beyond just shirts and shoes. So the more we understand and the more we, become experts, let's say, at understanding the journey, the end-to-end journey for a focused performer in terms of their quest to become better, we're looking to help out in various ways. And that could certainly go beyond shirts and shoes as well.
That's great. You've already talked a little bit about what's changed for Under Armour and the innovation efforts internally in like pivoting to developing masks for kind of frontline medical workers. But my understanding is that also may result in a consumer product in the future. Is that in the offing potentially?
Absolutely. We've been working on understanding what the needs are going to become as we get out of this pandemic, or while this thing continues to rage across the world. And one of the things that we think we can contribute in is, of course, from an innovation perspective, helping the focused performers out there do their sport. And we believe that we're uniquely equipped to find ways for the focused performer to continue to do well and to become better. So there is some very exciting product that is coming the focused performers' way here in the very near future that is going to enable them to continue to do their sport more comfortably than with any other mask, if you like, out there. We call it the Under Armour Sports Mask, and it's going to become, we believe, something very, very special. And we're also looking to work with youth specifically with this mask, because we believe that's an area where we have a unique opportunity to contribute as a brand.
That's great. Obviously, on top of global pandemic, we have, we're experiencing a period of, unrest around racial issues, that started in the U.S. and now have really kind of rolled out and started to happen globally. I just wonder if you could share, anything that you have communicated to the UA team about Under Armour's stance on that and Under Armour's, kind of point of view on that moving forward.
First of all, Under Armour is a global brand, a global company, and for us, we have done extensive work to truly understand also the foundation of our values as a company. And in times like this, I think it's incredibly important to actually have a set of values that create that foundation of how to think about your actions during, whether it's a pandemic or whether it relates to what you just talked about, whether it's race, gender, or any other sort of diversity and inclusion topic. And for us, it's really the way we look at it, the current situation and the values that we have that we lean into is really three specific values that we're looking at this point in time that we've been communicating around. The first one is we stand for equality. So for us, equality is about equality for all, fairness for all. And that comes really from our origin in sports. When you're on the field, when you're on the team, it doesn't matter whether what race you are, or what gender you are, or where you're from, or who you are. You're part of the team. And for us, it's at the very foundation, the very core of our brand. So we've always stood for equality. But we also think about staying true. So in other words, being transparent and truly being transparent in every way, in every action that we take. And that's something that we practice internally with our Under Armour teammates. And then third, fight on together. And for us, fight on together does not mean violence. It means about the fight of actually, going through really difficult times like this together as a team. And that's why at Under Armour, for example, we call all of our associate teammates, because we truly think about it. that way, since we are a company that is rooted and grounded in sports, in team sports, from the very origin of our inception. So we're very thankful and grateful for having these values to lean into in difficult times like this. And it certainly is a very challenging time today, whether you're in Hong Kong or you're in any of the cities in the U.S. that is experiencing so much pain right now. But there's also pain in many different parts of the world. And being a global company operating in over 75 countries, we're extremely aware of that and very, very empathetic and understanding.
Yeah, thanks for that, Patrik. We've got a couple of minutes left. I want to wrap up by just asking you to speak about, what you've personally learned as a leader during this time. What would you want to share with your CEO peers or with anyone in the global audience of Collision 2020?
I think it's really important to lead with confidence in times like this. In my own case, it's a lot about leaning into my own experience. And I've had the very good fortune of working in many different countries and many different brands. So I'm certainly leaning into that in these very difficult times. But confidence is important. Making decisions is incredibly important. And when I say that, it's about making decisions very often without having all of the information that you would like to have. But the organization is truly looking to leaders at this point in time to lead by making decisions. And that's incredibly important. So I think I make those decisions at Under Armour, as I said before, leaning into our values. And I'm using our values as a framework for how I think about the decision making. Because ultimately, I've got to make sure that the decisions that I make are not just for right now, they're for the longer term as well. So it needs to be a good balance there in terms of the decision making for sure. But confidence.
Patrik, thank you so much for being here with us. We really appreciate it. Collision audience, thank you for being here. Yeah, and all I want to say is to everybody, to you, Patrik, and to everybody else out there, stay safe. It's crazy times. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Stay safe.